got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. Welcome.
Welcome to Resident Person Kids. Today we are looking like Manassah.
Say the scripture, boys.
The chapter first is taken from Joshua chapter 24, verse 14 and 15. Now therefore fear the Lord, and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gold which your father served, and the oils of the outside of the foot, or the gold of the eyesight, in whose land he dwelt. But for me and my house, we go serve the Lord. Bye-bye. Let everything down praise the Lord. I want to be a Christian in my heart, in my life. Lord, I want to be a Christian in my heart, in my heart, Lord Jesus. Lord, I want to be a Christian. So, today we are going to read Mickey Part 2. Did you remember when we did read Mickey Part 1? Now we are going to finish it with Mickey Part 2. But I think it has Mickey Part 3. So listen on.
Alright, so Charles put his satchel back in its place and drawing on his warm mittens and trying his cap over his ear, stood waiting for Mickey. Nini, 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 you can't do that. You have to listen. Come here and listen. Nini, Come on, listen, and keep on making anything go. Haven't you got any mittens? He asked, looking at the little bare hands that were placing the odd cap upon the top of his head. No, I haven't, he answered quickly, but I do not need them. I'm tough. Why? I should think your hands would ache dreadfully these cold mornings. They do sometimes, was the quiet reply. Well, you take mine's, and I'll get my sister Susan's. She is 2 years older than I, and her hand is just as big. And before Mickey could say a word, Charles was gone. He talked to his sister in a whisper, telling her about poor little Mickey's crust of bread, his bare hands and ears, and Susan's kind heart was touched. I was going out with the girls and slide, she said, without a shadow of disappointment in her tone, but I would rather you should take Mickey and have my mittens. She plunged her hands into her pocket and took out a pair of nice white mittens, which she put in Charles' hand. So nice, right, boys and girls? And stop, Charlie. Mickey's ear must be almost frozen. There's my little woolen scarf hanging on the peg under the shelf. Get it and tie it over his ears. He might have it to keep, for I do not need it, and mother wouldn't care, I am quite sure. Charles was delighted with his sister's generosity, and it was amazing to watch the kindness with which he tied the short warm scarf beneath Mickey's peaked chin and pulled his cap down hard to keep it on. Isn't that Mickey? Isn't that nice, Mickey? He asked, viewing his companion quite proudly. Why, I should think it was summer. I was pleased, reply, and Mickey rubbed his hands over his bandaged ear with great satisfaction. Charles was very attentive to his new friend that day and tried to shield him from the thoughtless remarks of his companion, who in a mischief-loving spirit would call after him as he dashed down the hill upon the pretty green sled. See, Pat, now how he goes? Look out, little O'Connell, or you'll lose your breath. But Mickey did not mind. He did not mind it much. He was enjoying his nooning vasting, and it seems as if he had never learned his lesson so easily as he did that afternoon. His step was light and his face bright as he bade Charles good night and started to run down the lane as fast as he could make his way through the deep untrodden snow. And in a few minutes he was lifting and the torn latch of the old tumble-down house. The room was dark and dingy, just a glittering of fire upon the broken hearth, and by its side, his mother was sewing busily, while upon a low bed in the corner his father was lying in a deep sleep. Mickey glanced at the sleeper and crept softly to his mother's side.
Has he been off again? Did he find the money? Mrs. O'Connell replied by a sad nod of assent. Did he take the whole? Another mournful nod was the answer. Mickey had brought home 50 cents the evening before, the pay for some work his mother had been doing, and they had carefully hidden it away, lest the intemperate father should spend it for drink. He had searched diligently for it after Mickey was gone to school. By the fierce threats had forced his wife to make known the hiding place. She tried to retain a part of it, for they had little fluid or food, but he had taken the whole, gone off to the village tavern, and an hour before Mickey came, had come staggering home. So his father was drunk. I have had a good time today, Mother, he whispered. See here, and he pulled the scarf from his neck. Charlie Harper gave me this, and I've got a piece of cake for you. He gave me lots of good dinner and came over and sat with me. Then he let me slide on his sled all between schools. Oh, I did have such a nice ride. He is the best boy that I have ever seen. Why, Mother? You're crying. Aren't you glad? The poor mother only put her arm around her little boy and drew him close to her and kissed him very tenderly while her tears dropped upon his curly head. Yes, Mother is very glad for little boy, her little boy. It is nice cake, but you eat it. No, Mother, I brought it for you. And the mother saw how much it would please her generous son, so she ate it all. Did the boy call you names today? She asked, sadly, though she was glad to see her boy happy. Not much, and I did not mind it if they did, because Charlie took my part. Charlie went home and told his good, kind mother all about little Mickey and what he had done for him. She kissed him she kissed him and called him her darling boy, my darling girl. Charlie felt very happy that night, and as if he had not kept his eyes open in vain, he went to sleep in his nice warm bed after eating his good supper. But Mickey only had a little Indian porridge that his mother stirred upon the coals, and he crept off his hard pallet, hungry and cold, but he did not complain. He what?
Did not.
He did not complain. So my little listeners, do not be discouraged because you do not seem to be doing much good and carrying a great name. Perhaps after all, you are like Charlie, casting an influence for the right.
So, Fred, what did you understand in the story? Leave it in the chat below. Thank you for watching this story. Enjoy! And look for our next story time. Bye!
Bye. Hi boys and girls. We are looking at 2 Chronicles chapter 33. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 55 years in Jerusalem, but did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, like unto the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord had cast out before the children of Israel. For he built again the high places which Hezekiah his father had broken down, and he reared up altars for Baalim, and made groves, and worshipped all the host of heaven, and served them. Also he built altars in the house of the Lord, whereof the Lord had said, In Jerusalem shall my name be forever. And he built altars for all the host of heaven in the two courts of the house of the Lord. And he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. Also he observed times, and used enchantment, and used witchcraft, and dwelt with a familiar spirit, and with wizards. He wrought much evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. And he set a carved image, the idols which he had made in the house of the Lord, of which God had said to David and to Solomon his son, In this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. Neither will I any more remove the foot of Israel from out of the land which I have appointed for your fathers, so that they will take heed to do all that I have commanded them, according to the whole law and statutes and the ordinances by the hand of Moses. So Manasseh made Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem to err, and to do worse than the heathen, whom the Lord had destroyed before the children of Israel. And the Lord spake to Manasseh and to his people, but they did not hearken. Wherefore the Lord brought upon them the captain of the host of the king of Assyria, which took Manasseh among the thorns, and brought him with fetters, and carried him to Babylon. And when he was in affliction, he besought the Lord his God, and humbled himself greatly before the Lord, the God of his fathers, and prayed unto him, and he was entreated of him, and heard his supplications, and brought him again to Jerusalem into his kingdom. Then Manasseh knew that the Lord was God.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in